while they were out for the coin toss, Charles Haley, who spent some illustrious years here with the 49ers, was the only Dallas captain.
You see Charles, the only guy out there. Normally the Cowboys send 6 guys out for the coin toss.
But Haley, because of his years and whatever animosity, if there is some still left, was the only Dallas captain. Doug Bryan to kick off.
And there is some animosity.
Short kick is going to be handled by Kevin Williams. Williams outside the 30, about the 33. And now let's check that Dallas offense. Led by number 8, Troy Aikman. His passing percentage 65.4. A big, good offensive line in front of him. Tuine, Newton, Stepnoski, Kennard, and Larry Allen, the rookie, starting in place of Eric Williams. Novacek, Williams, Irvin, the receivers, Darrell Johnston, the Moose, in front of Emmitt Smith. That's the way they'll begin. Michael Irvin split wide left, faced by Deion Sanders. Emmitt Smith through the 35. Stopped by Gary Plummer. The 49er defense, they have made a lot of changes. Ricky Jackson, Stubblefield, Bryant Young, and Dennis Brown, the front 4. Norton, Plummer, and Woodall, 3 new linebackers. Deion Sanders and Eric Davis, the corners. Merton Hanks and Tim McDonald, the 2 safeties. Number 21 is Neon Deion, 2nd and 7. Aikman Smith. Emmitt Smith straight ahead. Just shy of the 40. Lee Woodall.
Yeah, there's an amazing thing, Pat. Alvin Harper going into the game already. You know, when he was hurt Monday night after the game, the Cowboys thought that he was lost for the season. And then they came back and said, no, maybe just 3 games. And Alvin Harper said during the week, I'm going to play this Sunday. No one believed him. He would have started if it hadn't been for Kevin Williams having worked there all week.
He has had some big games against these 49ers. Here's Aikman back to throw. Bad thumb and all. To Emmitt Smith. First down, Dallas. Those of you who watched Arizona and the Giants, watched the Cardinals win by 1. Welcome to Candlestick. Pat Summerall with John Madden. No score in this one between the 49ers and the Cowboys. Barry Switzer quietly has done an excellent job.
I think the thing that Barry Switzer has done is a smooth job. I mean, his transition from Jimmy Johnson to Barry Switzer has really been a smooth movement.
Smith. He finds daylight. Tim McDonald up to make the stop.
I think we're seeing here, Pat, what it's really going to boil down to today. You know, the 49ers made all those moves in the offseason on defense, and the thing that they haven't been able to do in the last 3 games is stop Emmitt Smith. And not only as a runner, but as a pass receiver. And as you can see on this first drive here, the Cowboys are giving the 49ers a heavy dose of Emmitt Smith.
2nd down. Smith is deep. Aikman back to throw it. Has time. Michael Irvin had the ball, came down with it. I'm not sure who's got it now. The 49ers, they say someone took it away. I'm still not sure whether he was down or not. The officials are still talking.
Yeah, he threw it into a crowd. There were 3 49ers there. Again, it's when the whistle blew because Merton Hanks of the 49ers came out with the ball.
Novacek was the man who was in the wrestling match for the ball, not Irvin. 49er ball is the indication I got.
There were 3 49ers surrounding him. And then, as you say, Merton Hanks came out with the ball.
And the conference continues. It's Novacek.
There it is. The ball goes into Novacek. And then you can see Hanks right there comes down with it. You see it's on Hanks' shoulder. The ball's right up there. So Merton Hanks came up with the interception.
He's down with the ball, Merton Hanks. Let's see what the officials call. The referee is Bernie Kukar.
Merton Hanks comes up with the interception before he goes down.
It's ruled incomplete. Novacek never had the ball.
Yeah, but then they'd have to say that Merton Hanks didn't have the ball.
Right.
On that replay, it sure looked like he did have the ball.
Novacek did come down on the ground when the ball was still loose. But the official ruling is incomplete pass. It's a Dallas timeout.
It sure looked like an interception
yes,
to me. It hit into Novacek, and then it came out into Merton Hanks, and you'll see Hanks. He's number 36. Now watch him. He goes up there with his hand, and then the ball's going to be, as it comes down here, it's going to be on his right shoulder. See the ball right there? It's on his shoulder. Now, unless it hits the ground, Merton Hanks has control of the ball.
He's down. He can't get up and run, but he's got the ball.
Yeah, so that can't really be anything except an interception.
It is ruled an incomplete pass.
Yeah, the Cowboys dodged a bullet on that one.
A lot of meetings, a lot of protests, a lot of yelling. It's ruled incomplete. Dallas sends in 3 wide receivers. Third and 6. Smith behind Aikman. Novacek is the move man. The protection is good. The ball is deflected, and the Cowboys will have to punt.
I tell you, they have real good coverage, and they're going to get a pass rush here. You see Aikman is looking. He looks to his right. He looks to the middle. He looks to the left. He looks back to the right, and then the ball gets tipped. But I'll tell you, that one was a coverage play. Aikman looked 4 places before he threw.
Dana Stubblefield made the deflection. John Jett into punt. Dexter Carter back deep, looking into the sun. And it's a bright sun on a beautiful day in San Francisco. Jett's kick is a good one. Dropped by Carter momentarily, down at the 5 and out to about the 7, and that's where the 49ers will start. Derek Brownlow down on the coverage. Steve Young, the NFL's #1 quarterback, 69.1%, the league leader. In front of him, Wallace, Sapolo, Oates, Derek Deese, and Harris Barton. Ricky Waters and William Floyd, the 2 runners. Rice, Taylor, and Brent Jones, 3 of the best receivers in football. First and 10, San Francisco at their own 7. Young is going to throw out of his end zone, and does. John Taylor, the intended receiver, overthrown. Larry Brown back with him. The Dallas defense ranked #1. Haley, Lett, Maryland, and Tolbert. Darren Smith, Robert Jones, and Dixon Edwards, 3 very quick linebackers. And in the secondary, Brown and Smith, the corners. Washington and Woodson, the safety. 2 tight ends for the 49ers. Hobson and Brent Jones. Young again. Incomplete. Intended for Rice. Darren Smith, the defender. What are they doing to Charles Haley, John?
Well, this is what we're going to see all day, or Charles Haley's going to see all day. They're going to double him. They got Steve Wallace on him, who is a good pass protector, but they got the tight end Popson in there to help a little, too. They're not going to let Charles Haley take over this game, especially early.
And now the 49ers have 4 wide receivers.
They'll have a tough time. Here's where they have to block Haley, because they'll have a tough time doubling him now.
Young. Ball is batted down right at the line of scrimmage. There's a flag on the play. I think it was Leon Lett.
That's one thing about Leon Lett. He's so tall that all he has to do is get a couple of steps and he can knock it down. A couple steps, get those hands up in the air. Leon Lett is becoming one of the top defensive linemen in this league.
Shaky start for the 49er offense, but the penalty is against Dallas.
You're going to see here, after 5
Illegal
yards.
contact. Number 28 on the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
They just tackled Jerry Rice.
Right after 5 yards, you can't touch him. But on that play, they tackled Jerry Rice, and as they say, it's not only a 5-yard penalty, but it's an automatic first down.
At about the 12, the 49ers now with some breathing room. Waters and Floyd behind Young. Ricky Waters takes the fake, and Young is off the run. First down. Moore to the 38. Jim Jeffcoat. James Washington finally made the stop.
I tell you, this is a run all the way, Pat. And you're going to see the fake here, and they fake here, and then he's going to bootleg out to the right. You fake to the halfback. You see the fake there, and then he's going to put the ball on his hip and just outrun the whole defense. If you run a bootleg this early in the game, you are pulling out all stops.
First and 10. That's Waters. Hammered down by Tolbert and Lett. Right now for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
Hey, Pat, Arizona got its 4th victory of the season in the closest of fashions. Well, we'll first take you and show you that field goal by Norm Johnson, a 30-yarder that helped Atlanta to move ahead. A franchise record 6 field goals, Atlanta leading by 2. Hey, folks, please keep...
Nothing at Candlestick, 2nd and 7. Bardos is the offensive center. Pass complete to Jerry Rice.
Boy, did Charles Haley hit Steve Young. He hit him right in the face. Darn near knocked him out. Watch, Haley's here. He's going to come on a stunt right up the middle. See, Leon Lett works to the outside. Here comes Haley right up the middle, and whap, with his left hand, he just hit Steve Young right square in the face.
Young looking quickly for perhaps a penalty, but it didn't come.
He's lucky he could look quickly anywhere.
Yeah. Hand off. Waters, the ball carrier, hit first by Russell Maryland. An assist from Darren Smith.
You know, there's a certain crispness that you see in a big game like this.
Yeah,
whether the word is intensity or whatever, but I've noticed when you get 2 top teams playing, the tackling is always a lot crisper.
This field is in the best shape I've ever seen it in.
And this is the way football should be played. On a grass field like this between 2 top teams, you can't beat a game like this.
The atmosphere and the player. Young is sandwiched. The pass intended for Brent Jones. He's hit by Tolbert and someone else, and he's still, well, he's slowly getting to his feet.
Well, that someone else is Charles Haley, and they better get control of him. You see Tolbert hit him there. Haley's coming in from behind, and this is going to be, if they don't get this pass protection under control, and they know that they have to do that, it's going to be a long day for Steve Young. And you have to get your pass protection under control, or you have to get some running game going, because these guys are just rushing the passer.
3rd and 8. 4 wideouts. They need the pass blocking. They don't get it. Chad Hennings first there. Leon Lett with the assist.
These defensive linemen of the Cowboys are just taking off. You'll just see them here from here, and you'll see the stunt right here. They're just crossing. They're just trying to foul up that offensive line. You see Chad Hennings is the first guy there, and then Leon Lett. They have a real confidence, this Cowboy defense. I mean, that front line is just teeing off.
You can see it. Kevin Williams back deep for Dallas. Klaus Wilmsmeyer to punt it. High kick will be handled. Won't be handled by Kevin Williams. He lets it bounce. It takes a 49er bounce. Inside the 10, about the 7.
I don't know what kind of signal that was Kevin Williams was given. It wasn't a fair catch signal. It was more a stay away signal.
to the ball, I think.
Yeah, or to the rest of his players coming down there. Yeah, we were talking about you just watch him here. I mean, that's not a fair catch signal. That's
No.
like you're swishing some stuff away.
Rolling dice.
Yeah, then if you're going to tell everyone else to get out of there, you better get out of there yourself.
1st and 10 Cowboys. 2 tight ends. Emmitt Smith. Blockers in front. To about the 14, tripped up by Eric Davis.
The thing about Emmitt Smith is he just kind of takes the ball and finds a hole and gets about 4 or 5 yards, and then by the time you hit him, he falls for about 2 or 3 more and gets a lot of those 6 and 7 yard gains.
And then all of a sudden he pops one.
Oh yeah, he can always pop one. It's like Russian roulette. They know that.
2nd and 4. Aikman to throw it. Novacek. 1st down, tripped up by Plummer and Ken Norton. Flag on the play.
Yeah, that was a late flag, Pat. That came in after the play was over.
The indication, face mask violation.
5-yard face mask penalty. Number 51 on the defense.
Norton.
That 5-yard penalty from the end of the run. 1st down.
I think they gave it to the wrong guy, Pat. I think it's number 50, Gary Plummer here. You see Plummer, he grabs Jay Novacek's face mask there. Norton was the 2nd guy in, but it was Gary Plummer, number 50, who grabbed the face mask.
They just called the wrong number. But they got the connection. Emmitt Smith. Faced by Norton. And Emmitt gets out of bounds. At about the 32.
Yeah, that's the thing about, you say these 49ers and how many weapons these have, but it's the same thing with the Cowboys.
Sure.
I mean, they have Michael Irvin out there. They haven't done much out there yet. They have Kevin Williams. They got Alvin Harper. They can go to Jay Novacek. They can go to Daryl Johnson as a receiver. Emmitt Smith as a runner or a receiver. You can't zero in on any one area or guy.
They also have a guy who can get the ball to him. Here's Emmitt Smith. Put on the brakes. Doesn't quite get to the 1st down marker. Emmitt carried the ball 35 times last Monday night. He told us yesterday, I won't be doing that again, but he's well on track to do it.
Yeah, and if that's what it takes to beat the 49ers, he'll do it. That guy that just made that last tackle there was Merton Hanks, and that becomes the 8th man up. And I think that Merton Hanks is really a valuable addition because they got Deion Sanders who can play corner now. Merton Hanks can play safety, and that's really helped this defense.
Smith has the 1st down. Just sort of skates through.
Yeah, and you see who's making the tackles again. It's Merton Hanks for 1st down. You see they're getting this whole front 7 blocked in here, and they're making the tackles come from the secondary. Novacek goes in motion. Daryl Johnston is going to be the lead, and you just see all you have to do is just give him a little crack there, and then crack, he'll get right through it. And Nate Newton and Mark Tuinei can make little cracks for you.
And when they fall on you, it gets bigger. Here's Aikman. Drops it out to Emmitt Smith again. Right now for a game break, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
Pat, the seesaw there at the Superdome continues here. Morton Anderson, he with the golden foot, booms home a 39-yard field goal. 8 seconds left on the clock. The Saints nursing a 1-point lead over the Falcons. Right now, let's take you back to Candlestick. Pat and John.
No score at Candlestick. 2nd and 12. After the completion from Aikman to Smith. They lost yardage. Aikman fakes the draw play. Goes to Irvin and misses him. Aikman had I was down on the field before the game, John, and that thumb it's the bottom joint. It is really swollen.
Yeah, it is swollen, and as he plays, I bet it's going to get more swollen, Pat, because Troy Aikman has a strong grip on the football. That's one thing. Number two is he has his right hand up there when he takes the snap from the center. So every time he takes a snap, that ball is going to be pounded against his thumb. So I think that swelling will go up as the game goes on.
He gets a jar all the time. The quick pass is picked off as Harper fell down. Deion Sanders made the interception.
Yeah, I was just going to say that Alvin Harper is going to have been a guy who has really hurt this 49er team. Deion Sanders, in the last couple of plays, has been playing on Alvin Harper.
And Deion looks like he might have injured his left hand.
Well, sometimes they'll stick that finger out there, and the ball will just hit their finger as they go for it. You know, if they get their hand out there, sometimes the ball just hits the finger. But I tell you, that was good coverage and a good interception. Harper goes down. Deion was close enough to make that jump on the ball.
At midfield, 1st and 10, San Francisco. The handoff is to Ricky Waters, who doesn't make it back to where he began.
Yeah, that's the thing that Deion Sanders has really helped this 49er defense with. Yeah, you watch his interception here, and you'll see his fingers will just come off the ball. You see that finger? I mean, whatever he did, it was when the ball contacted the finger. Then when he went down, he brought the fingers off the ball.
Had to surprise him when Harper fell down in front of him. Here's Young back to throw. And the pass is batted down by Tony Tolbert. There goes Deion Sanders.
You know, he probably dislocated that finger, and what they'll do is they'll try and pop it back in the sidelines, and if they can't do that, they'll take them in, and that's exactly what they're doing. That happens a lot to defensive backs, where they get hit with the ball right on the tip of the finger, and then they dislocate it at a joint.
You are not seeing double. That's that big extra helmet that Steve Wallace wears. He's had some head problems, concussion problems, and that protection, he says, gives him the confidence. Here's Young back to throw, chase, and down he goes. Leon Lett and Chad Hennings have a meeting at the quarterback.
Well,
they got to get something done.
Yeah, it's that stun again. You know, and this is what Charles Haley does. You're going to see Haley here. He comes in here. Now, he's going to draw a crowd. Now, Leon Lett is the guy that makes the sack. He comes around here, but they get so involved with Charles Haley. You see him take off there that they just go with Haley, and they let Leon Lett go, and he gets the sack. So sometimes Haley will get the sacks, but sometimes he'll cause trouble that other guys will get the sack.
Kevin Williams back deep at the 15 this time. Klaus Wilmsmeyer to punt it. He can let go now and does. This one is returnable. And he's dangerous. Flag on the far side of the field. Those of you who've been watching Atlanta, New Orleans, and that thriller, welcome to Candlestick Park. We have no score. The Saints by 1 over Atlanta. Final score. Cowboys will take over. There's a penalty on the play. Holding against Dallas. 0-0. 3:05 left to play in the first quarter.
It's been a long first quarter for Steve Young because, one, they haven't gotten any running game going other than his bootleg.
Holding number 41 on the return team. We have a post-possession fall. That's half the distance to the goal line. First down.
And then, two, they haven't been able yet to handle the pass rush of this Dallas Cowboy.
And the word, as you said, John, on Deion Sanders is a dislocated finger.
Yeah, I'm sure that he'll be back. I'm sure that that's one of the things that they'll splint up and tape up and put some gloves on. He'll be back.
Right now, Toy Cook has taken his place. Emmitt Smith just does get back to the line of scrimmage if he does. Stopped by Merton Hanks. Those of you who watched New England come from behind to beat Minnesota, welcome to Candlestick Park. That one in overtime. No score here between the two teams that many regard as the two best in the NFL.
You know, so far the 49er MVP on defense has to be Merton Hanks. If it weren't for him, the Cowboys would have a lot more yardage.
On second down, Aikman retreats to the end zone. Goes deep for Harper, who's got it. Alvin Harper to the 30, 20, 10, out of bounds at about the 4. For a guy who was supposed to be out for the year, that's not bad.
And then he wasn't going to play for 3 weeks, and then he could start today. And he's a guy that has always made big plays against these 49ers. Here he starts in like he's going to go on a slant, and then he just sees that Eakin goes up. He has double coverage, and he just runs right through the double coverage. Eric Davis is chasing him, and he's not going to catch him until he knocks him out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
For 90 yards on the completion from Aikman to Harper.
How about Aikman? I mean, he couldn't grip a ball yesterday. He couldn't shake a hand. He couldn't do anything. And he throws the ball to the other guy who's out for the year.
Emmitt Smith, Dallas touchdown, standing. Good blocking.
There's the 2 nemesis for this San Francisco 49er team. Alvin Harper and his big catches. And then again, just too much Emmitt Smith.
Nate Newton out in front of Emmitt.
Hey, when you get out behind Nate Newton, you can kind of block out about 3 guys, can't you? Now that was an offensive series. What a great football team.
Bonio's extra point is good, and the Cowboys lead on the touchdown by Emmitt Smith, 7-0.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Levi. 100% cotton, wrinkle-free Dockers. Pants so soft they shrug off wrinkles. By Coors Light. Reach for Coors Light, the silver bullet, and keep on moving. By McDonald's, the official restaurant of the National Football League. And by Norelco Razor for our closest shave ever.
Here's Alvin Harper here. Eric Davis, he doesn't get a bump. Harper's going to start in a slant, and then he's just going to run right by Davis and Tim McDonald. You think the thing you want to do is double team a guy. You have to get a bump. You don't get a bump. Look, he just splits him or runs right by him, and Troy Aikman throws a perfect pass.
2 guys who maybe weren't even supposed to play today. Hook up.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. The one guy we thought was going to be out for the season at one time, and last night we talked to Troy Aikman. I didn't know that he'd be able to play.
There's a penalty marker down. The kickoff team, the Cowboys, were offside. That hookup between Aikman and Harper, their longest ever. Aikman's longest throw, Harper's longest catch. 3rd longest in Cowboy history. Don Meredith to Bob Hayes, and Roger Staubach to Tony Dorsett longer.
Yeah, the amazing thing is how it just takes all the air out of everything. I mean, that big play took the air out of the crowd, and it looks like it's taking the air out of the 49ers. Just look at them on the sideline. And
number 46 on the kicking team. That'll be a 5-yard penalty, and we'll re-kick.
I mean, the 49ers kind of look like Michael Moore did after George Foreman hit him with that second right.
Well, they got to figure out a way to pass block.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they have to do on offense, and then on defense they have to worry about, again, Harper. They have to worry about Emmitt Smith, that big offensive line, and the 2 things they haven't been able to stop over the years have been the big plays to Alvin Harper and the Emmitt Smith running and pass catching.
That's a lot of worries.
And then you got big old Nate there, and Tuanay, they're running behind them. Steknoski, talk about big guys. Look at Kennard. Those guys all sit on the bench the same way they line up on the field.
Larry Allen, the rookie, has done a good job. Short kick by Bonio. Dexter Carter to about the 27. Dallas 7. The San Francisco 49ers nothing. A crystal clear day by the Bay. 7-0 Dallas. It's probably not clear on the 49er side.
And And it's not clear on Steve Young's side. If you look, he's been sacked twice already in the first quarter, hurried 5 times, knocked down 4 times, had 2 passes batted down, and he was forced to scramble 1 time.
That scramble was a planned run, I think.
Yeah, that was a bootleg. That was a run.
Here he comes again. Young up close to the 40. First down. Deion Sanders just came back from the locker room.
Yeah, you see what they did. They tape those 2 fingers together. I mean, they get it back and then they form a splint with the other finger, and they tape the 2 fingers together. And they have the gloves on it. And you know, a cornerback, as long as he has his feet, his legs in one hand, he's okay.
That's William Floyd banging left side. Got some positive yards, about 3 or 4.
Now there's the guy who comes fired up. I mean, he brings a fired up package. And then we were talking to George Seifert about William Floyd, and he said that, you know, when Ricky Waters was an emotional guy, he was kind of funny emotional guy. And he said when you look at William Floyd, he's an emotional guy, but he's a tough emotional guy. I mean, he wants to put some hurt on things. Ricky wanted to out-talk some things.
2nd and 6. Haley jumped. He might have been pulled.
I think Jesse Sapolo moved, Pat.
Ball start. Number 61 on the offense.
You are right again.
The 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Yeah, they've been having so much trouble. You can see Jesse right here with their pass protection. That what they do is they just get a little jumpy, you know, because they want to get set before that guy gets started. They want to get set so they can read that stunt they've been giving him. And sometimes they just set before the ball snap.
Notice they had no one in the backfield that time. 2nd and 11. Waters. Near first down yardage. That's the end of the first quarter with the score Dallas 7, San Francisco nothing. The MetLife blimp Snoopy 2 has teamed up with Fox Sports to provide you with a bird's eye view of Candlestick Park in San Francisco. And have they got a good view today? Blimp is equipped with a state-of-the-art camera. And I imagine it's kind of comfortable up there today.
Oh, it's a beautiful day up there. And then you look down in the parking lot, and they got a band out there. Yeah. They had all kinds of stuff going on before this game in the parking lot.
Well, they're getting ready for something else.
I know. I mean, that's some good-looking sausage there. I mean, it looked like they kept it in the fire a little too long.
That might be too ready. Whoa.
You got to
get away from it.
You can't cook it right in the fire. No, I mean, yeah. Put that top on there. The guy looked mad when the other guy, he thought you cook it in the fire. You cook it from the heat and the smoke. You don't cook it from the fire.
Yeah, you can't cook it 10 yards away from it either.
With your eyes.
Reverse coming, and this is Jerry Rice, and he's got some room. Chase down. Right now for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
Pat, it was one whale of a game in New England. Take a look here in overtime. Drew Bledsoe, play action, finds Kevin Turner in the corner of the end zone. Bledsoe threw for 354 yards in the second half alone. New England improves to 4-6. Back to Candlestick. Pat and John.
Cowboys leading at Candlestick 7-0. But the 49ers in Dallas territory showing blitz. Young again. That's not a scramble, that's planned. And that's a first down and a flag after he went down. Haley might have been late.
And the 49ers are going to get running today, Pat, one way or another. If they can't get it with Ricky Waters or William Floyd, they're going to get it with Steve Young.
Young has 3 carries for 51 yards.
Again, this is going to be the bootleg. He caught him in a blitz. He got the whole inside pack. He really
Late hit on the
fouled up
quarterback.
Charles Haley.
Unnecessary roughness, 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
He faked out Charles is what happened.
In the beginning.
And then Charles chased him all the way down. And then they say that he hit him right there, I guess, is a penalty. I don't know if it's against Charles Haley or if it was against James Washington over the top.
He kind of, they say if you slide feet first, you can't be hit if you're a quarterback like that. But he sort of went sideways.
Yeah, well, you know what they did? They didn't even block Charles Haley. Waters faked him out.
Inside the 5 is Ricky Waters to about the 4.
Now that takes a little of the pursuit away. You see, they got him. They got the bootleg going, and here you're going to see Waters, and he's just going to hit him in the middle. Now they're worried about the bootleg and the outside stuff, so they get a good lead there, and now they can find some inside running because they're keeping those defenders all to the outside because of that bootleg. See, they're all outside worrying about bootleg. A good lead in there by William Floyd, and then Ricky Waters took it one hole after.
Floyd bangs down to about the 1. That should be enough for a San Francisco first down.
Look at Floyd. He's pumping the adrenaline in himself, his teammates, and trying to get this whole crowd into it. But it all started with the bootleg. It all started with Steve Young's running. Like I say, you can always tell when that's a big game. When you have an organized run by your quarterback, you're letting it all hang out on this day.
First and goal, just inside the 2. Brett Jones with Rice in the slot. That's Floyd fighting to get there, and very nearly did.
Had a pretty good collision there with the middle linebacker of the Cowboys, Robert Jones. He's a guy, if they're going to run their fullback up the middle, your middle linebacker has to make that play. That's Robert Jones. He's number 55. He's going to step up there, right there. He makes a tackle. He doesn't let him get in the end zone. He just wrestled Floyd sideways.
About a foot left.
This is quarterback sneak time.
Here it is. Touchdown. Took a while till they unstacked. Steve Young took it in.
Ricky Waters helped with his running. William Floyd helped with his blocking and running. But to me, that drive was Steve Young's drive and Steve Young's running.
Here's the touchdown.
Now, you know where to go, don't they? They don't go right over that center. They're going to take the gap one side or the other and then get down low. He wasn't going to drive anything. That was a heck of a quarterback sneak.
Bryan for the extra point. Wilmsmeyer is the holder. 7-7 tie. Touchdown by Steve Young.
Yeah, here was the big play of that drive. Here's Charles Haley. They're not going to block him. Steve Young is going to fake and bootleg right around him. Now, he gains 12 yards on this play. See, they just fooled Charles Haley. He went right around him. Haley chases him there. Now they give a 15-yard penalty. So that was 27 yards of that drive right there.
There were 9 running plays in that drive, no passes. But that was a big one. Ball blew off the tee.
Yeah, when we were talking to Steve Young yesterday, he says that they're going to have to be able to run the ball, I think, just to calm down that pass rush, which they did on that drive. But he said really to win the game, he thinks it's going to have to be Jerry Rice and John Taylor, because he felt that they can work on those Cowboy corners and work deep on those Cowboy corners and maybe get a post on them.
But he needs time to get the ball to him. Line drive kickoff is handled by Kevin Williams. Down just short of the 30 by Kevin Mitchell. From overhead candlestick. 7-7 tie.
When that thing, I'd like the red, but if I really like the red, then I don't want the blue and the green and all that stuff. So where do you get where you just get what you really like and want?
Well, you got to stand on the corner for that and order it.
See, they just give you the multicolored, multi-taste.
Any kind is fine with me. 7-7 tie. Here's Aikman back to throw it. Maybe. He was hurried and hit down by Dennis Brown.
Dennis Brown is going to come from the far side, and you see he's going to come there around Mark 2 and 8. He just outrushes 2 and 8. He just speed rushes him there, and he gets around 2 and 8. Then he gets around Aikman and then comes in from Aikman's backside.
You don't think about too much about Dennis Brown on a speed rush like that.
No, and especially from that right side. I mean, he plays both left and right, but he's normally the left side defensive end.
Emmett Smith over the left to about the 37. Pick up 6 maybe. Plummer made the stop.
You know, I think if you look at these middle line guys, if you look at Kennard, Stepnoski, and Nate Newton, I think those are 3 of the best inside blockers in football. I mean, these are big, strong men. I mean, Stepnoski, I mean, he's been in the Pro Bowl and everything, but as a center, he may be the most underrated, good offensive lineman in football.
Matter of fact, we've got 25 players in this game who've been to the Pro Bowl. Flag on the play. Aikman Novacek, first down. But we'll wait for the penalty marker. Eric Davis, Tim McDonald make the stop. By the way, Deion Sanders is back playing. Offside San Francisco.
There's Barry Switzer. We talked about, you know, the job that he's done. It's a tough job.
Number 58 on the defense.
Your description of that was a good one. A smooth job he's done.
Yeah, and I think that's the whole thing. I mean, he's let the players play. I mean, they've had good players, and he's let the assistant coaches coach, and he's just adjusted and adapted himself to it rather than having the whole team adjust or adapt to him.
A Dallas first down. Emmett Smith close to midfield.
Look at Nate, number 61. He's there. He's still doing that same thing. Nate goes there and looks over the play and is always pulling those pants up. You notice that? I mean, there's something that you just can't keep the pants up, and you wonder why. Well, yeah, but you got a lot of stuff there to keep them up over, but sometimes the stuff that's up over the pants is bigger than the waist, so that doesn't let the pants stay up.
If he ever thought about bigger pants.
No, a man will never do that. A big man has 3 wardrobes.
Emmett Smith saw nothing. And he saw correctly. There was nothing there. There's one of those Pro Bowlers.
Yep, Jesse Sapolo. He had a little trouble early in that first quarter with Leon Lett and Charles Haley over there on that left side, and they were getting some pressure. Leon Lett and Haley were both doing some things to Jesse Sapolo that he wants to get straightened out.
3rd and 5, 3 wide receivers. Aikman. Michael Irvin on his favorite pattern got the first down in front of Deion Sanders.
That's what Michael Irvin was saying. He said, if Deion plays me man to man, he said, the thing that I want to do is a slant. In other words, just get inside right now and come right here and get the ball right there. Do something quickly. He said, if he's up in there tight, I want to come, you know, stutter, boom, and then use his body to get between Deion and his quarterback.
First down at the San Francisco 37. Emmett Smith. Chased by Norton. Emmett just steps out of bounds. Ricky Jackson also involved.
And there's a guy who really hasn't been involved too much yet. And if the 49ers are going to win this game, I think Jerry Rice is going to have to become a big part of it.
His biggest contribution was on that reverse earlier. 1 carry.
And he only has 1 catch so far for 9 yards. And And that's not Jerry Rice. I mean, Jerry Rice is a big playmaker. Jerry Rice is the best wide receiver in all of football, and you have to do it in big games like this, and he will do it.
2nd and 12. Aikman to Irvin. Michael Irvin ducks. Going to be a little bit short of the first. Deion Sanders knocked him out of bounds.
Did you see that hit by Deion Sanders?
Yes, unusual.
He and Michael Irvin are very close, but they're two of the most competitive guys you're ever going to want to meet.
They just got closer.
Yeah, Deion Sanders isn't really known as a hitter, but he brings everything he has when Michael Irvin catches this one. You're going to see Irvin come across, come under control, catch a ball. Now watch Deion Sanders come all the way across and make that hit right there. Deion Sanders is a cover corner who hit that time like a linebacker.
They need two. Aikman is close, but I don't think he got the first down.
They were talking about letting everything go in a big game like this. Troy Aikman didn't slide or anything. Troy Aikman has already had one concussion this year, led with his head. You know, the quarterback, when he runs like this, if he slides, they can't touch him. But if he goes head first, they can touch him. Good coverage there. Good coverage. He had none of
receiver, 65.
They're going to go for the first down, and Ron Stone comes in as one of the tight ends. Scott Galbraith is the other. Smith, first down, and more to the 20.
I think if you look at that, Pat, the 49er defense looked messed up in the middle. They didn't have their middle straightened out. Charles Mann was in there. Didn't look like he was in the right position. If you just look at this whole middle here, they look like they're fouled up. And Smith is going to take it out here where he finds a soft spot. But they weren't sure where they were going to line up. See him. Mann is going back and forth, number 71 there. So they piled up all that thing. Someone that should have been out there in that hole wasn't. And if Emmitt Smith has the ball, he's going to find where the guy isn't.
Aikman, pump fake.
No, I told him.
Harper didn't quite read what Aikman had in mind.
Well, this is where he likes to go to Alvin Harper, and they got that one play that they usually run. They put Harper on the left side, and they run a post to him. That's what they do when they're playing against the Cardinals and teams like that. But now, if they put him out there, he's on the right now because Deion Sanders is the corner out there on that side.
Harper's right. Irvin is left. Novacek is in motion. Emmitt Smith to about the 17. Gary Plummer made the stop.
Cowboys have that one play, that lead draw, and of course Emmitt Smith is the best at running that play, and Daryl Johnston is the best at leading that play. Because the lead guy, the fullback, has to find the hole first, lead through it, and then make a block. And Daryl Johnston does all those things.
3rd and 6. Aikman to throw it. Picked off on the rebound by Merton Hanks, who's up and running. And cut down by Daryl Johnston.
Merton Hanks, again, I said this before, the most valuable player of this 49er defense. Really the second interception he had. They didn't give him the first one. They give him this one. Aikman's looking. He has good protection. He just threw that ball. It looked like a little behind Alvin Harper. And Merton Hanks just keeps fighting and fighting and fighting. And he comes up with it at the end.
49er ball, 7-7. At Candlestick Park. Interception by Merton Hanks. 49er ball. Handoff to Floyd. A yard maybe.
Now you watch. Here's Merton Hanks here. Here's Alvin Harper. Now what they're doing is they're playing him inside out. Inside, outside. And when Harper comes in here, Hanks is going to have him. Now the ball is thrown a little behind, but Hanks really fights him for the ball. You see him waiting, gets a jump on him. The ball's thrown. He comes up over the top, bounces the ball up in the air, and just stays with it. But if Harper comes inside, Hanks has him. He goes outside, Davis has him.
2nd and 9. Young screen pass to Waters. Down at about the 12 by Robert Jones. He has played very well of late. Number 55 in the middle.
Troy Aikman has 2 interceptions today, and he didn't have any in the last 3 times that they played the 49ers.
Waters the lone setback. That's Rice in motion. Young gets the ball out to Jerry Rice, who's wrestled down, and now Robert Jones picked up the ball. Aaron Woodson, I believe.
Now you wonder how much of that, a lot of that is the 49er defense. You wonder how Troy Aikman's thumb is, because I think, like I say, I think that thing is going to get worse as the game goes on. And that throw is a little wobbly and a little behind Alvin Harper. And you wonder if it was just a bad throw or if he's starting to be affected by that thumb.
You don't see him throw many balls that wobble. And that one did. Wilsmire's kick off the side of his foot. Bounces the way the 49ers would like, and they've down it at about the Dallas 40. 2:49 left in a 7-7 tie.
Next week is my 5th wedding anniversary.
Between the Cowboys and 49ers, that's together with Fox Sports. Glimp will attend over 35 sporting events, television specials this year.
You know, I was at a high school game. This is true. Thursday night, and the blimp flew over. That Met blimp, that one that's up there now, flew over Thursday night in this area.
Well, that's one of the events. Emmitt Smith is hit quickly. Doesn't make it back to the line of scrimmage. Ricky Jackson made the initial hit.
Ricky Jackson's the guy who has been in some big games. Ricky Jackson's been in some Pro Bowls.
And this is Emmitt Smith, who is face down.
And he's the guy that, if you look at who's beaten the 49ers over the years and who's led this Dallas Cowboy team to Super Bowls and every other kind of title, it's the guy that's down now, Emmitt Smith.
Well, he said last night he was still sore from the 35 carries on Monday night. He hasn't made any sign of getting up. Up and jogged off the field. There he is. Like he got a stinger on that left shoulder. He was hit hard by Ricky Jackson.
And he was hit right on the shoulder by Ricky Jackson, as you say. We'll see, Ricky Jackson is right here. He's going to come on a stunt to the inside, and when he makes a tackle, his shoulder hits right on Emmitt Smith right there. He hits it right on his left shoulder, and like I say, Pat, I think he did get a stinger because they checked the left shoulder and he got up and said he was okay.
This is a 49er timeout. They have 2 left. Dallas has 2 left in the first half. Back at Candlestick, Pat Summerall with John Madden, and it's 2nd and 10. Emmitt Smith back in the game for the Cowboys. A bruised left shoulder is the word from the Cowboy bench as to what happened to him. 2nd down. Aikman fakes to Smith, pulls it down, and he goes down. Bryant Young and Dana Stubblefield, the heart of the 49er defense.
Yeah, I think it was Bryant Young. I think he makes him bring the ball down. You see number 97, Bryant Young, is rushing right there, and you see then he gets the pressure. In fact, he even grabbed a hold of Troy Aikman's wristband. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was Bryant Young. He got the pressure. He got the pass rush against Derek Kennard. and then you just grab for anything that you can. Watch him right here. He grabs his shirt, almost takes his shirt right off his chest.
He's had an outstanding year.
Yeah, I think when you look at the guys that have had outstanding years on this 49er defense, you start with that front four, and it's those two tackles, Dana Stubblefield and Bryant Young. Stubblefield, a second-year guy, Bryant Young, a rookie. And then I think you go to Deion Sanders and how much he's added to this defense by being able to take someone all by himself. Then I think you go to Merton Hanks, who, being able to play safety, corner, wherever you need him.
And Tim McDonald has added the run support that they've needed for some time as well. 3 wide receivers for the Cowboys. 3rd down and long. Aikman retreats.
No.
Incomplete, I believe. Yes, he made the catch. It's Michael Irvin.
That was on the 49er sideline, and all the guys in the 49er sidelines would say it was incomplete. You see, they're playing off of Irvin, and he's just going to push up, and then he's going to run an out pattern and then come back a little.
That's a heck of a catch.
Had he not come back and Troy Aikman led him back, that would have been an incomplete pass, because that was really pretty good coverage.
That was enough for a Cowboy first down, and now we get the 2-minute warning. 7-7 tie at Candlestick. What coach, this is the Aflac trivia question, what coach won 100 games in the fewest games he coached? What coach won 100 games in the fewest coached? My guess would be John Madden.
No, that's not the. I'm not going to tell you what the answer is. I'll tell you what the answer isn't.
It's not John Madden.
It's not John Madden.
Okay. We'll find out after this play. Not John Madden. It's got to be somebody pretty astute.
Well,
pretty
you know who
capable.
it is. Yeah, you know who it is. I know who it is. I coached against him a lot.
First down. Aikman to throw it. Stretch by Novacek. Merton Hanks, the defender. It was not you, the answer. That's the question again. Don Shula won 100 games and 135 games coached. Well, he holds every other record about coaching.
Yeah, he's won more games than any other professional coach, and I think I have as much respect for Don Shula and his coaching profession as anyone.
Most people who know him do. 2nd and 10. Aikman. Irvin to the 41.
There's that slant on Deion Sanders again. That's what Michael Irvin says. He said what he likes to run, if it's man-to-man and it's tight man-to-man, he likes to run the slant or the fade, which is that quick up. And then if it's a zone where they're playing off, he likes that deep in. So those are his 3 favorite patterns.
3rd and 2. Cowboys have 2 timeouts left in the first half. Aikman. That's Novacek. Scrambles to the 35 and gets the first down.
Yeah, as you say, the Cowboys have 2 timeouts. The 49ers have to be thinking now why they took the 2 timeouts, because they took 2 timeouts that really helped this Cowboy drive.
Novacek with one hand. The other hand was pinned to him by McDonald. First down. Candlestick Park in San Francisco, the home of the 49ers. 7-7 tie between these 2 teams that most people do consider to be the best in pro football. They both have a timeout left. 1st and 10, Dallas at the San Francisco 35. Aikman to throw it. Pump fake going deep. Incomplete for Harper. McDonald and Sanders are, beg your pardon, flag on the play, back at the line of scrimmage, behind the line of scrimmage. That was Dana Hall. with Dion.
This is a good matchup here. You know, you see how Dion is looking. He keeps that left hand there just to feel him, not to push off, just to feel.
Illegal use of hands. Number 60 on the offense. Hands to the face. That's a 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Derek Kennard.
Yeah, we see Deion Sanders use his hands, but watch Alvin Harper use his hand. He got his right hand to try and push off of Deion, and he tried to out-jump him. He didn't do it because he got up higher, but Deion got up as high as the ball.
And got a hand in there. First and 20. 3 wide receivers. Flag on the play as Aikman looks left, throws to Emmitt Smith. He is thrown back to midfield by Merton Hanks again.
Yeah, I think that's what the 49ers have been able to do because Deion Sanders can take either Harper or Irvin. Then they can take an extra defensive back and put him on Emmitt Smith.
Offside. Number 94 on the defense lined up in the neutral zone. Number 73 on the offense tripping. Penalties are offset. Repeat first down.
No play.
And Dana Stubblefield for the 49ers lined up in the neutral zone. And then Larry Allen, you see here he is. Here he is lined up in the neutral zone, which is the length of the ball. So if you're over the ball in any way, you're in the neutral zone. And then the tripping was against Larry Allen, the rookie right tackle for the Cowboys.
So it's still first and 20. Aikman to throw. Going deep again. Incomplete. Alvin Harper again.
Yeah, Ernie Zampese, the offensive coordinator of the Cowboys, says that if they aren't afraid of Deion, I mean, they're going to throw to their receivers, Harper and Irvin.
Deion's down.
And they said if Deion's the guy that's out there, they're going to throw against him. Here he is up there. I was trying to do a little stop and go. Again, Alvin Harper had about a half a step on him. You know, one thing, they're both using their hands there, but that's good defense. I mean, you're not going to beat Deion Sanders, although they just took him off the field and they tried to take time out.
He just barely got off if he did.
I think that's why the 49ers called timeout, Pat. They didn't want to have 12 men on the field.
Coming up on the Dockers halftime, James and Terry will have all the scores and highlights from around the league on this 11th week of the '94 NFL season. That's all coming up on the Dockers halftime. And there have been a lot of close ones around the NFL this Sunday, this 11th week.
And they'll have something to talk about the first half of this game, too. I know in the pregame show, Terry Bradshaw said that he felt that Steve Young had to have a big game and run the ball.
He's run it.
And if you look at the first half, that's been true, and they probably have to do that some more in the second half. But I think another thing, Pat, in the second half, and I said this earlier, that if the 49ers are going to get into this game or win this game, and they're in it because it's 7-7, but I think Jerry Rice is going to have to become a big factor.
Deion Sanders still trying to get his wind over on the sideline. He's out, and Tyrone Drakeford is taking his place.
I think maybe that's the thing. They are working on Deion Sanders today. I mean, they're going after him. They're throwing those slants on him when he's up there tight. They're throwing those ups on him. He's dislocated a finger so far in this first half, and they aren't staying away from him.
No. Harper right, Irvin left. And here's Aikman. He's going to take off and slide at about the 36. 40 seconds left now. Cowboys hurry now. Barry Switzer says he wants a timeout. That's their last one. And they take it. Aikman will get his breath.
Yeah, they would like to save that one. You'd like to save that one for a field goal, you know, and then on third down you could hit it, you know, an in or something, and then have one timeout for your field goal. So now they're going to have to, you know, throw the ball to the outside or whatever to get in position for a field goal. right now it would be from this point, it would be a 54-yard field goal.
That might be a little too far.
That'd be a little too far. So I think they have to be thinking of some pass in the area of, 10 yards, and then be able to get out of bounds.
One thing about the day is, clear as it is, another thing that you don't usually get at Candlestick is there's no wind.
Now that's one of the secrets of this Bay Area, Pat, that the nicest time of the year is really November and December and that time of year. And the coldest and windiest is usually in the summer. And then the fog is, when the Giants play here, is sometimes the worst weather, and some of the nicest days are when the 49ers play here.
Hope we didn't just let the secret out.
No one was listening to that part.
Yeah, they were. That's Harper moving left. Aikman back to throw. Keeps Emmett Smith in the block. Throws it to Irvin. And he bangs down to about the 25, and now they're close enough.
Now, see, they're fouled up now because they can't throw the ball down because it's 4th down. So they can't throw it down to stop it. They have to run their field goal team in.
4th down.
They have no timeouts. It's 4th down. So they're going to have to kick the field goal.
10 seconds left. Bonio with Novacek holding. They're still going to have to hurry. They get a shot. No good. That's the end of the first half with the score Dallas 7. End of the first half with the score Dallas 7, San Francisco 7. Stay tuned for the Dockers halftime as Fox NFL Sunday continues after this message from your local station.
Some kind of special jump or something. Do something about that one.
Bonio's kickoff sails to Dexter Carter at the 4. 7-7 tie. Down in a hurry. The Dallas special teams, that was Godfrey Miles who made the initial hit. San Francisco's big guns today.
Well, if you look, Steve Young has really run the ball. He'll probably have to continue. Jerry Rice only has 2 catches for 12 yards. John Taylor and Brent Jones haven't caught a pass yet. So I think they have to get Rice into it big time and get Taylor and Brent Jones some balls.
They're going to try early. Young. Rice. Wrestled down, but it's a 49er first down. Larry Brown and Dixon Edwards get Jerry Rice.
Well, they were probably talking about the same thing in the 49er locker room, that now that we got some running game going, now that we kind of calm that defense down a little, let's go and try some first down passing, because the Cowboy defense may be playing run on first down.
Well, those runs by Steve Young control the offside, the backside, those 3 rollouts in the first half. Here's Young back to throw it again. Intended for Ricky Waters. Nothing. Incomplete.
Well, after they threw on first down and then they got their next first down, the Cowboys say, the heck with this, let's go back to the way we started. They just started rushing the passer. I think that front 4 of the Cowboys, especially Charles Haley and Leon Lett, I think they're just rushing the passer, and if the 49ers run, they hope to just meet it on the way.
They hope to be covered by those very quick linebackers. 2nd and 10. 49ers at their own 35. Waters in motion. Hand off to Floyd. Line of scrimmage. Russell, Maryland. Leon Lett plug it up.
Well, Leon Lett didn't go for it that time. It was a 2nd down, so they tried to get big Leon Lett to penetrate, which he usually does. And everyone has been whamming him and trapping him and taking advantage of his penetration. That time they tried to trap him. He took 1 step and boom, he just plopped down. There was no hole there at all.
And now they send in the fresh rushers. Jeffcoat and Hennings come to the left side. Young is hit. Just barely got rid of it. Intended for John Taylor. And Jim Jeffcoat, who has had some big days against these 49ers.
Well, here's Jeffcoat here, and they double team Haley at the top, and they single Jeffcoat in the middle, and it's the middle that got to him. Jim Jeffcoat is, you know, as Barry Switzer says, has about 25 plays a game in him, and you can just keep him down to about 25 plays. He can give you 25 pretty good ones.
And there's certain people he likes to play against.
And Harris Barton, who he just beat there, is one of them.
Kevin Williams retreats. And he is hit backwards at the 20. Knocked straight back by Troy Wilson. That was a collision. Beautiful day at Candlestick Park.
Let's watch this Kevin Williams here. He's going to get by the first two right here, so he feels pretty good. And then watch Troy Wilson unload on him right there. Boom, and wow. Hits him with the shoulder and then the right forearm. And that, as you said, Pat, is a collision.
That feeling good came to a quick end, didn't it?
Well, he saw those two and he beat the two. He made them just shoot air, and then he ran into the real thing, and Troy Wilson.
Cowboys at their own 20. Handoff is to Emmitt Smith. He gets to about the 26. We showed you San Francisco's big guns today. How about the Cowboys?
You know, those two interceptions are kind of unlike Troy Aikman. Emmitt Smith has half his 100 yards. Alvin Harper, always big plays against the 49ers. Michael Irvin, a go-to guy. 5 catches. But look at that pass defense.
Yeah.
They've only allowed 16 yards.
Smith again. Almost broke it. Merton Hanks made a saving tackle.
Well, yeah, here's what you love is you just love to take this big line. I mean, you got Nate Newton, you got Stepnoski, you got Kennard, you got Tuinei, and then get a runner like that in behind him. And they just get those big, 300-pound bodies on you. See them, boom. My man Nate just hits the guy, takes him right beyond the hole, and Emmitt Smith was right behind Nate, and then he just ran right off his block.
1st and 10 Dallas. The handoff, one of the few today, to Darrell Johnston. And he might have gotten a yard.
Yeah, I was talking earlier about Nate Newton, and always picking up those pants. And we were talking yesterday how heavy guys, and I understand that you have 3 wardrobes. You have one, the diet wardrobe. Like when you're lost weight and and you're looking good, you got those clothes. Then you got that wardrobe where you start to gain weight after you come off the diet. Then you have the 3rd wardrobe. That's just called your give-ups.
That's after you retire.
No, but that's just big old baggy stuff that one size fits all big guys.
Here's Aikman back to throw it. Incomplete, intended for Novacek. Jay Novacek has been out with an abdominal pull, and he missed the last 2 games other than to the hole for the field goals and extra points. But that's something that just won't go away.
Yeah, and it's been a career ender for a lot of guys, especially defensive players. I remember Eric Wright for the 49ers had that. Ted Hendricks had that. And if Jay Novacek gets better, it probably won't be until March where he'll feel 100%.
That's what he said. I'll probably get well next March. Aikman. Back to throw. Harper. Not enough for a first.
Well, they threw in front of the Tyrone Drakeford, the rookie out there. For some reason, Deion Sanders isn't in there. In fact, for some reason, Pat, I don't even see him on the sideline. I don't know if he came out for the halftime.
The information that I've just gotten, John, is that he's back in the locker room and they are re-examining his hand. Remember, he went in before and they taped the fingers together, as they often do on a dislocation like he was supposed to have. But right now he's still being attended to. Dexter Carter back deep.
That was a big play there, Pat, just by stopping him 4th and inches here and making a punt in this situation. 49ers only had 10 guys out there. They now have 11.
John Jett's kick is out of there. Carter signals fair catch at the 15, where the 49ers will take over. Still, the score remains 7-7. Dallas and the 49ers. There's a face that's been through the wars. Steve Wallace.
And he has his hands full today with Charles Haley. Charles Haley, one of the most dominant pass rushers in the league.
Here's Deion Sanders, who's back. Got a little extra protection on that finger.
I think at first they just taped it together, then they look like they put some protection on it now.
Ricky Waters gets out to just short of the 20-yard line. Picked up 4 or 5 perhaps.
You know, we're talking about Steve Wallace and how he has that extra padding on his helmet. It's just a shell that goes over the helmet. He's had 5 concussions. And when he got the last one, he was worried, and he had a CAT scan. Found out it was okay, but he wants that protection so he can use his helmet and not always worry about it.
No backs. Young had to throw in a hurry. There's a flag on the play. Young had nobody behind him. Bernie Kukar, the referee. Charles Haley over adding his contribution. All against the 49ers.
Looked like the signal was a form of illegal chop block.
That's been called before.
And against the 49ers, everyone complains about him.
Personal foul, chop block on number 63 on the offense. That's half the distance to the goal. We're going to repeat the down.
63 is the right guard, Derek Deese. And what happens is if a guy is engaged in contact, and if you come and block him after he's engaged, you see where Deese is coming now? If he were to block him and knock him over. So what they did, it should have been 66 Oates is what they should have called it.
Pass is complete out to Ricky Sanders. Ricky Waters, excuse me. Stopped by James Washington right now. For a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
Pat, take a look at the play to help Arizona win its 4th game of the season. Steve Berline looking, flushed out of the pocket, running right, gets rid of the ball by throwing it high. The only man who could catch it, Brian Reeves, great haul. Arizona wins its 4th, gets set now to host Philadelphia next week. Giants lose their 7th. Back to Pat and John.
Back at Candlestick, it's still 7-7, 3rd down. 10 yards they need. Young back to throw. Just barely gets rid of it. I think that ball hit the ground. It's incomplete. Kevin Smith saying it didn't. Young did well to unload in time.
And he got the pressure from his right side. Again, Charles Haley lined up on that side. You see Haley's lining up there. 2 guys go in with him. Chad Hennings comes around on that same stunt they've been doing all day, and he gets Steve Young just as he throws the ball. But the 49ers are really having a tough time with the stunts, and these stunts usually start with Charles Haley either on the right side or that time the left defensive side.
Kevin Williams back deep for the Cowboys, and Klaus Wilmsmeyer to punt. Almost blocked it. Williams at his 39. Tripped up by Ted Popson, who did the snapping. Popson down in a hurry. Dallas takes over, 7-7 tie.
What does it take to be a champion?
To his index finger now.
I think when they initially found it was dislocated, I think they just taped it. And they look at halftime, like, as you said, they put some more protection on it.
Emmitt Smith. Nothing there. McDonald and Norton face to face.
Well, you know, Norton said when he left the Cowboys and came to the San Francisco 49ers, he said the first thing that he did is he looked at the schedule and he circled this date on his calendar, and he said they could say that it doesn't mean anything or you're not looking forward to it, but this week he had to admit that it's been there. He's been looking forward to it ever since he left the Cowboys.
A lot of people look forward to this date. Here's Aikman. Look out. Aikman, that one bounces to Emmitt Smith.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Aikman or if it's the 49er defense or it's Aikman's thumb, but this doesn't really look like Troy Aikman today. Talking about old-timers, Rex guys, there was a shot there at Jim Burton, ex-New York Giant. There he is right there, looking good. Ex-49er, the nose tackle.
Fresh haircut. New gum.
Always one of the fun guys that played in this league, an overachieving nose tackle.
Flag on the play as Aikman throws intended Novacek over his head. But a penalty marker down.
That's the second one of those. They just called one a little while ago on Derek Kennard, that illegal block to the face.
Illegal use of hands. Number 73 on the offense. Hands to the face. Penalty is declined. Fourth down.
Decline the penalty.
73 is Larry Allen right here. That's the second time they call that. You see, they get their hands up there. You see the right hand? He just went with his right hand to Ricky Jackson's face. Sometimes you go for the shoulder pads and you miss the shoulder pads and hit the face. Sometimes you just go for the face.
John Jett back to punt for Dallas. Dexter Carter deep. Jett's kick is returnable. Carter. Hit at the 25 and down there by Dave Thomas. 49ers will take over. 7-7 tie remains the score. And they were at the high school game on Thursday night.
Thursday night they were practicing. Scoopy-Doo, you don't know where one is, but I know where Deuce has been. They've been here all week. Flying around here like the seagulls.
Two tight ends for the 49ers. Ricky Waters gets the carry. Waters, first down.
He has to point to himself after the play like you think it's someone else. There's only one back in the backfield, and it's Ricky Waters. And you see they just kind of zone block here, and he starts and he pushes the thing to the outside, gets the Cowboy defense to come out to the left upside, and then just cuts it right back against the grain.
Waters and Floyd now behind Steve Young. As Floyd tripped up as he goes left by Charles Haley.
Now, you know, that's one of the things that people have tried to do, and I don't think you make a heck of a lot of yardage. Just run at Charles Haley. Looks like Steve Wallace just lost that shell, and he has to figure out which is the front and which is the back. Then he has to get the stripes to line up. He got that thing. He got a shell on cockeyed.
A little askew. Young, Waters. Ricky Waters running hard. Gets past the 45. Darren Woodson again had to make the stop.
Yeah, the score is 7-7 here, Pat, but they've been doing everything hard in this game.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you just watch the line and the hitting and the lead blocking there by Floyd. That is a great lead block.
He's a good blocker.
Yeah, but I mean, he come in and he brought the whole thing. I mean, he just collapses guys and puts them on their back. I mean, William Floyd is getting to be a real force in this thing.
Third down. No backs behind Young. Young takes off. And he got the first down. You're going to run it. There's nobody else back there.
Yeah, one thing you know, when there's no back in the backfield, then you can eliminate run except by the quarterback and just go after the passer. Hey, you watch Steve Wallace here, Pat. Sometimes that happens when you get your thing and it's not on right. You just go block your own guy. You don't know who's who or where's where. And
that's a little distracting.
I know it. You're not on your axis. You know, everyone says you have to have your head on straight.
Yeah.
You don't have your head on straight, that happens.
I always wondered what that meant. Ricky Waters breaks out of the grasp of Russell Maryland and is finally knocked down by Dixon Edwards.
Yeah, you can just see this game. There's going to be a big play. There's going to be a mistake. There's going to be a turnover. You know that something like that is going to win this game or lose this game.
7-7 tie.
And Jerry Rice really hasn't been a factor. John Taylor hasn't been a factor. And Steve Young said yesterday that they have to be a factor.
Young again to Waters. Waters tackled in the backfield for a loss. That'll bring up 3rd and about 5, and they'll have to put it up.
You know, who would have thought of that, you know, putting it up, that we would be here in the 3rd quarter and the 49ers would have only thrown 12 passes
and only scored 7 points.
Yeah, because I mean, there's such a wide open offense, and you know, they have, everyone says they have, you know, so many weapons. Those weapons have been quiet today.
4 wide receivers and Ricky Waters in the backfield. He was in the backfield. The blitz is coming. Incomplete. Young didn't have a chance. Intended for John Taylor.
Yeah, I think I would get rid of that formation where they have no one in the backfield, because that time they just blitz Brock Marion, and there's just no one there to pick them up. I mean, you can see here, you see when they bring the blitz, you see Marion is coming late right there. They had no one to block him. I mean, everyone is gone. There's no one in the backfield, no pickup there or threat of a pickup. So they know they have him outnumbered. Now all Steve Young could do is really throw that ball away.
Wilmsmeyer back to punt. Kevin Williams deep for the Cowboys. As John Madden said, you just wait for a turnover. Williams signals fair catch, makes it at the 15. Where Danos will take over. 7-7 tie. 4:01 left in the 3rd quarter. (7-7) at Candlestick Park. There's George Hageman. And you talk about big, he's huge.
And you talk about big. How about the loss of Eric Williams, this Cowboy team? You know, I think Larry Allen is playing very well at right tackle for the Cowboys, but that's kind of an ace over a deuce. I mean, Larry Allen is going to be a good one. He's a rookie. To me, Eric Williams, who has lost to the Cowboys for the season, is the best offensive lineman in all of football.
I was going to say, he's a great one. Here's Aikman. Slips momentarily, fires out to Emmitt Smith, who's knocked out of bounds by Lee Woodall after he got a couple.
I think Troy Aikman is really struggling today. I think he's struggling with that hand. I think he's struggling with his footwork, and that's you know, as you say, he slipped just before he threw that. And you know, one thing, this field is kind of always heavy and damp, and Aikman on his drop back has really slipped a lot before he's thrown the ball today.
Interesting what you say. Of course, you live here in this area. You say about the tide and its effect on this field.
Yeah, that's why the field will always be wet and heavy, as we're just right off the bay here.
Emmitt Smith to the 20, stopped by Ken Norton.
I didn't really, but I mean, all I knew is in Oakland, the Coliseum was below sea level. And I always tell them high tide below sea level. That's why the field's wet.
3rd and 6. Intended for Michael Irvin from Aikman. Incomplete. Irvin saying I was interfered with.
And Deion Sanders almost had that one. Remember we said that against tight coverage, Michael Irvin likes to run that slant. Well, Deion Sanders is starting to understand it now, too. And he rode Irvin all the way. There was nothing to throw to there. I mean, he was on his back from the time the ball was snapped until the ball was thrown to Michael Irvin.
It's 3 and out.
Ooh, now that's good coverage. That's good coverage. I mean, that's why Deion Sanders is Deion Sanders. That's why he's the best cover guy in football.
Jet back to front. Not his best. Bounced away from Dexter Carter, out of bounds at the 42-yard line, where the 49ers will have good shape to run their offense.
And to me, I still say, and I keep saying it, that their offense, or a big part of their offense, is Jerry Rice. And when you have a weapon like Jerry Rice, I think you have to get him in the game when you're at this point where the game is on the line, and you have to win the game here.
Well, they believe they can take some shots with a post pattern to Jerry Rice or to John Taylor. Rice is split left. And Young is back to throw it. Going to Rice. He got it. Jerry Rice, touchdown. Larry Brown was the cover man.
When you have a playmaker and you have the best in football, you have to have him make a play when you have to win the game. That's the situation for the 49ers. They got one-on-one coverage. Jerry Rice just runs a pattern, goes against Larry Brown. The ball is thrown up there for a jump ball. Jerry Rice wins that contest. And Steve Young says, I got some monkeys to get off this back.
You knew it was coming. It had to. Doug Bryan for the extra point. With Wilmsmeyer holding. 14-7, one play. They went 57 yards. Jerry Rice made the touchdown catch.
Well, you know, when you have a guy like Jerry Rice, he can do it all. We know he can run. We know he can catch. We know he can run nice patterns. We talk about Alvin Harper, how he can jump. Watch Jerry Rice elevate there. But Jerry Rice can just do it all.
Yep.
I mean, he's big, he's strong, he's fast, he has moves. He's a great competitor. He's a dedicated guy. And like we said, it's just a matter of time. You just have to get this guy involved in the game. And he hasn't been. The 49ers waited and thought the same thing. Said, okay, here's the time to do it. And they went out and did it.
49ers lead 14-7.
Tell you, that's tough. Larry Brown being left out there on an up all by yourself.
With Jerry Rice.
On Jerry Rice. And all Steve Young, if you get that man-to-man thing in deep there, all you have to do is throw that ball up there, and that's what Steve Young knows. Jerry Rice is going to win 90% of those battles. Larry Brown has had a little problem with his Achilles. He missed a couple days practice, and yeah, it's tough covering Jerry Rice anyway. It's tough covering without help, and it's tough covering him with a bad Achilles.
Williams and Brock Marion back deep. It's going to be Kevin Williams. To about the 36. Next week, Fox NFL Sunday begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, with the #1 pregame show in America. Then Fox NFL Sunday continues with doubleheader action beginning at 1 Eastern as John and I will be in Dallas as the same Cowboys take on the Redskins. Others will see Green Bay travel to Buffalo, Detroit at Chicago. Then at 4 Eastern time, Philadelphia battles Arizona, Atlanta faces Denver, and the Saints take on the Raiders, and Tampa Bay plays Seattle. Check your local listing. Aikman hands off to Smith. The 49er defense up to the occasion.
I think the Cowboys now, we're just saying how the 49ers had to get Jerry Rice involved in the game. I think the Cowboys here have to go back and get Emmitt Smith involved in the game. I think Michael Irvin or Harper, probably the opposite side of where Dion goes.
Second down. Third quarter coming to a close. Here's Aikman. Novacek incomplete.
Yeah, Troy Aikman's not the same today, Pat. And I know it's that thing, part of it is a foot. I think a big thing is a hand. Last night, he couldn't squeeze, he couldn't grip the football, and I don't believe you go from not being able to grip a football to being able to play in 100% proficiently. Although that's a pretty good throw.
That's one that Novacek catches if he has time or is able to practice a lot. Third down. Aikman to throw it. Incomplete. Intended again for Novacek. Merton Hanks, the defender. 3 and out again.
Well, they don't watch out. They're going to have to pay Merton Hanks 2 salaries. But they're going to have to tie him down. This guy's getting to be too good. I mean, here's the thing about Merton Hanks. He can play safety. Then if you put in a third wide receiver, if you have another receiver, he can cover him like a corner. If you run, he can come up and play like a linebacker. He can play like a safety. He can cover like a corner.
Been a busy day for John Jett. Bad kick by John Jett. Bounce bounces past Dexter Carter, however, and inside the 15, down by Bill Bates at about the 13. Just over a minute and a half left to play in the third quarter. Penalty marker down late.
And they're pointing against the Cowboys,
Right.
Pat. It looks like the 49ers are going to make them punt again.
Take it back. See who he asked? Merton Hanks.
Merton Hanks has been doing
Ineligible
everything else.
receiver downfield on the kicking team, number 46. That's a 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
Joe Fishback down too soon. So they'll punt it again. John Jett. There's the Cowboys special team coach, Joe Avasano. Jett and just about the entire field now in the shade. Dexter Carter back deep. Flag on the play again this time as Carter going to try to return it, and he's got some blockers in front. Dexter Carter sandwiched at about the 45.
And if this penalty's against the Cowboys, the 49ers are going to turn this one down and take the ball right there. They picked up what they had to.
It is against the Cowboys.
I'm sure the 49ers will turn that one down, Pat.
Ineligible receiver downfield on the kicking team, number 58.
Twice in a row.
Penalty is declined. First down.
The 49ers, by taking that penalty and making a punt again, picked up about 10 yards of field position here. And if I were the 49ers, I don't think at 14-7 that you sit on this thing. Not against this Cowboy team. I think you got to go out and you got to bury him now. I think you have to go for another one.
First and 10, 49ers, and Young is going to go for another one if he has time, and he doesn't. Leon Lett wrapped him up.
Yeah, we were talking about how Leon Lett, for an inside guy, is becoming so dominant. You just watch him here. I mean, he is so big and he's so quick that, you know, he can just use his quickness to get to a point. That time it looked like Jesse Cipolla was trying to turn out to block on Haley, and no one was even blocking Leon Lett because the center, Bart Oates, didn't come towards Lett.
Second down and long. They give to Ricky Waters. Stays on his feet. Gets to the 45. Back to the original line of scrimmage, almost. Stopped by Dixon Edwards and Robert Jones.
John Marshall down there talking to Lee Woodall. This 49er defense has really done a good job today. I mean, of stopping the run. I think they've done a good job of coverage. And I mean, Aikman hasn't really been in sync. I think part of it may be Aikman, but I think another part of it could be that 49er defense.
Third and 11. Young to throw it. Incomplete. John Taylor was in Young's sights, but the pass was thrown well over him.
And I like that. I like what the 49ers just did that time. I mean, they took that lead, and instead of just sitting on it, they went after the Cowboys. You know, they went and said, okay, you're the champion. You may be, but you're here, and we're coming after you today.
8 seconds left in the third quarter. The 49ers 14, Dallas 7. Kevin Williams back deep. Signals fair catch. Makes it at the 15, just outside the 15. 1 second left to play in the third quarter. The wind not really a consideration as to who has it in the fourth quarter. Aikman again has been, well, you can tell, as John Madden's been saying, you can tell he hasn't thrown the ball like Aikman usually does.
Yeah, we were talking how Jerry Rice has to get involved, and I think now in this fourth quarter coming up, I think for the Cowboys, Michael Irvin has to get involved. Michael Irvin hasn't caught a pass in this second half.
1 second left in the third quarter. Irvin split out wide right. Aikman to Emmitt Smith. Hit at the line of scrimmage. Maybe short of the line of scrimmage by Bryant Young. And that's the end of the third quarter with the score San Francisco 14, Dallas 7. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages from your local Fox station. Dallas 7, Pat Summerall with John Madden.
And that is the biggest handheld camera I've ever seen in my life.
I thought that was a blimp when we first had it.
I wonder where the guy drops that film off for process when you get done taking pictures. Where do you take that?
Here's Aikman back to throw. Fires to Novacek. Novacek will have a Cowboy first down in the middle.
Novacek was alert there because if they don't blow the whistle and no one touches him down, he can get up and keep running.
And I really didn't see anybody touch him.
Yeah, there may have been a whistle because when he got up, they all started blowing whistles, so that'll stop the play.
First and 10 Cowboys from their own 34. They trail by a touchdown. Novacek on the move. Aikman to Emmitt Smith, and the 49ers have done a good job containing him. Right now for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
Pat, take a look at the winning play for the Chargers today. Stan Humphries play action, looking right, comes back left, and finds a wide open Dwayne Young. San Diego improves to 8-2. Kansas City drops to 6-4. Back to San Francisco, Pat and John.
Back here, it's 14-7 49ers. Second down and 10 Dallas. And 11 make it. Clock running in the fourth quarter. Aikman to throw it. Look out. Gets it to Emmitt Smith. And Smith outside the 40-41. Ken Norton tripped him up.
Yeah, Ken Norton's probably playing his best game today as a 49er, Pat. I think that Ken Norton was a little disappointed in himself, since he's come here. I think maybe the 49ers were a little disappointed in him. But today, I think he and Gary Plummer, the two inside linebackers, and the two defensive tackles have been a big part of controlling Emmitt Smith.
3rd and 3. Novacek comes out of there with it. Gets the first down.
Hey, Tim McDonald was right on Novacek. And that was a perfect throw by Troy Aikman. Yeah, I mean, Troy Aikman and Novacek work so well. Tim McDonald is still trying to figure out what the heck happened to him. Because if you look at him, he's going to be right here, and he's man-to-man on Jay Novacek. And he has him covered pretty well. He's waiting, and then he has him covered right there. He gets his hand in there.
Yeah.
How in the heck did that ball and that guy get by me?
That's good coverage. Aikman down by Ricky Jackson around the corner. Got around Larry Allen.
There he is right here, and you're going to see him just working on Larry Allen. He just starts here from the outside. See him right here. He's on the outside. He just puts that arm under. You see Allen trying to block him. He gets that right arm under, and then the shoulder beyond. Now, once he gets to this point right here, Allen is beaten.
2nd and 19. So many good years with the New Orleans Saints. Aikman. Incomplete. Intended for Harper. Broken up by Deion Sanders.
And when you have to throw the ball from one hash mark all the way across the field on Deion Sanders, it's not going to work. Here's Deion Sanders up on this side. The ball has to go all the way across the field. When it's in the air that long, Deion Sanders is going to get there before the ball gets there. Then he has that bad hand, so he's just playing with one hand. But he has those two quick feet.
Yep.
And those quick reactions.
And that great recovery. 3rd and 19. Jackson again with the heat on Aikman. Incomplete. That wasn't intended for Michael Irvin. Jackson again looking Aikman in the eye.
Yep, he was on a stunt. He came to the inside. Ricky Jackson came and put the pressure on him. You're going to see Michael Irvin here. He's coming up, trying to just run an out or a comeback. Again, that time Aikman didn't lead him back like he did earlier. Watch Jackson here, 57, come to the inside, just get right up in Troy Aikman's face as he throws the ball.
Jet back to punt again. Dexter Carter deep.
Ricky Jackson made his presence felt on that last series.
Jet's kick is a good one this time. Dexter Carter hit his own man. And then Kenneth Gant was down to take him down. 49ers take over just about at their own 20. We're in the fourth quarter.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By the United States Marine Corps, you've got to be tough to play. You've got to be smart to win. By American Airlines, something special in the air. And by Miller Lite, you can expect great things from the great taste that's never watered down.
Might be peaceful out there, but inside Candlestick, the 49ers lead 14-7, and they have the ball at their own 20. And they go with two tight ends. Now's the time. Let's see if we can run it. Ricky Waters for a couple.
I still think, like the last time they had the ball, Pat, that this is no time for the 49ers to be conservative. And knowing George Seifert and Mike Shanahan, the offensive coordinator, I don't think they will be. I mean, I think that a 7-point lead with 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter against the world champion Cowboys really isn't very safe.
Second down and 8. Clock running. Waters. A long dance in the backfield, finally surged for a couple or three maybe.
Yeah, this has really been good football today. I mean, this is, these big games, and I mean, it means so much and means a lot to this guy here, but to every player and the 49ers to get their confidence back, to know that they can be champions. Playing each other. I mean, everyone agrees these are the two best teams in football. I mean, I don't even know who the next one would be that you would argue with. To play a game like that, I mean, it's really been a crisp, well-played game.
3rd and 6. Waters does not get the first down. He leaned into the tacklers. Kevin Smith the first. But the 49ers will have to punt it.
Oh, that's a problem right there. They're working on Ted Popsam there, and he's their snapper for their punt. So they're going in there to punt, and they don't have the guy that snaps the ball. So Bart Oates, who's the second snapper, will have to do that. I mean, he's done it for a number of years. I mean, he's been in the league for 10 years. He knows how to do it, but you hate to lose your snapper when you have to punt.
Good snap. Kevin Williams says get away from it again. And so the Cowboys will take over when we come back at about their own 41-yard line, trailing by a touchdown. Is that a size 94?
I always wondered what size Derek Kennard's jersey was. Where do you go to the store and say, what size you
94?
Give me a 94. If you don't have that, I'll take a 96.
That's got to be two people.
That doesn't even fit. I mean, the old 94 is a little tight. He should have gone to about a 98.
That's Emmitt Smith. And there's not much for Emmitt. The 49ers have done an excellent job containing him.
Yeah, we talked about the two guys that have been doing it, and it's the two guys who are in on that play, Gary Plummer and Ken Norton. Watch them. They're the two inside linebackers here. They're going to read, they're going to pursue, and they're going to make the tackle. You see them, they start to slide with the motion. They get off their blocks. They key him in right there. Boom, boom, boom.
2nd and 8.
First they do the tackling, then they do the talking.
Aikman back to throw. Got Harper. Harper hung on at the 20, and a flag on the play.
You know, earlier we saw Alvin Harper, and they were taking that sleeve off his knee. Now he's working there against Eric Davis. He had something there. He took off. Maybe that gave him a little more speed. See, Davis is turning off, and then he made him stop right there. He held him right there just enough.
The penalty is declined. First down.
And that was a perfect throw by Troy Aikman. I'll tell you, I think the thing that made it is, as we saw, there was a little stutter step there by Alvin Harper, and at the same time, Troy Aikman pumped. So it was the pump and the stutter step.
1st and 10 at the 49er 20. Darrell Johnston is the man in motion. Here's Aikman. To Michael Irvin to about the 11. Stopped by Plummer and Norton.
Yeah, watch here. You talk about a receiver looking the ball in and concentration. Watch this. The ball comes, it hits him in the hands, it then comes up and lays on his shoulder for a while. It's between his helmet and his shoulder, and then comes back over the front again.
2nd and 1. 49ers lead it 14-7. The handoff is to Emmitt Smith. He's got the first down inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal from there.
I think the Cowboys are starting to get some things going now, like that pass to Irvin. You know, instead of leaving him out there, you can see right now that Deion Sanders is tired. He's not even coming into the huddle. He's just staying out on that one side. So you know he's not flip-flopping. See, the 49ers are all in here. Deion Sanders is out to the right. They're bringing tight ends on his side.
2 of them, Novacek and Galbraith, both to that side. They're going to run at Deion. The pursuit by Ricky Jackson
and
with a lot of help.
And that's bringing Deion back to the huddle. You know, before he didn't go back to the huddle, he just stayed out there on the right side. Then they put a tight end and Darrell Johnson up there and ran at him. So now he's going to go to the huddle and maybe go right or left.
2nd and goal at the 7.
Yeah, he's finding out where one of those wide receivers are coming and then going to that side.
He's out with Harper this time. And Aikman's going to throw. Pass is picked off by Merton Hanks. Novacek, the intended target. Merton Hanks with the interception.
That thing may spin for a while. We said the MVP early had to be Merton Hanks. You say it late. I think he's still the MVP of this game. Here's Jay Novacek here. Tim McDonald is covered him. They're going to try and hit him right here. Merton Hanks is free. Here's Merton Hanks. He comes back. He reads the throw and gets the interception right there. The reason it's free is Deion Sanders is on his right. He doesn't need any help, so he doesn't even look out towards Deion. He's just reading Troy Aikman all the way. Novacek had a step on McDonald, but he didn't see Merton Hanks. Troy Aikman did.
6:10 left to play. Rice from Young. Larry Brown made the stop. See what Deion did on that play, on the interception by
Here's Deion up here, so you know when you just give him, he's on Alvin Harper man-to-man. So now the safety knows that he doesn't have to help there. So Merton Hanks doesn't even have to look at the outside receiver because he's just letting Deion have Harper, and then he can stay and sit in the middle, and that's how he got that interception.
With that catch, Jerry Rice is moving to 3rd place on the all-time receiving list. He just passed James Lofton, who is now number 3. Waters.
They were saying that Burton Hanks may be the MVP of the game, Pat. This was the first one. This was a heck of an interception. And again, if you look, it's right down at the goal line. So Burton Hanks has 2 interceptions, about as big as you can get, because those were both in the area when the Cowboys were going in for a score.
And you remember back early, he had one that was taken away.
You see Deion there. Deion Sanders somehow ended up with a ball and brought it and gave it to Burton Hanks.
Here's Young to throw, or back to attempt to throw. Flags, whistles. Burton Hanks is so slightly built. Was born in Dallas, by the way.
79 on the offense prior to the snap. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
All against the 49ers before the ball was snapped.
And Burton Hanks has that thing where he can play, safety or corner. And he said, when you talk about, coverage and the things he does and everything he's done as a pro, he gives most of the credit for his development to Eric Wright. Remember who played corner here?
I saw him before the game.
Yeah, and when you talk to Burton Hanks, he said, just about everything I learned from Eric Wright.
There's Young. The John Taylor. Taylor hit by James Washington, knocked backwards. But he got enough for a first down before he started in the other direction. That's his first catch of the day, and that's a big one.
That's a big one, and it was a big hit, but John Taylor won that one because he had the first down. James Washington hit him and knocked him back where he came from, but he already had the first. But here's where it's all starts. They finally get some pass protection. See, it's going to be a quick throw, so they cut Jeffcoat on this side, and that gives Steve Young a lane to throw to John Taylor.
4 minutes now left. Waters chased by Jones, but he got away from him and gets almost another first down, and here come the flags. Darren Woodson made the hit that brought Waters down, but a penalty.
I'll tell you, Ricky Waters is running with some abandon today. I mean, he's been running downhill. He's been fired up and had some good blocking from that offensive line, but also from William Floyd. I think when you look in the future of this football and the best fullbacks, blocking backs, I think William Floyd is going to be in that list.
He is.
Penalty's going against the 49ers.
Holding number 40 on the offense. That's a fall right from the spot. 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
Called against Floyd.
Is right there. There's Floyd right there where I made the squiggly mark. I'm going to say he blocked him. I don't know. I guess he turned on. Sometimes a guy will be blocked square and then the guy will turn on him and they get him for blocking in the back. But the officials have to see where the initial contact is made.
It is first down. 3:53 left to play. 1st and 20. Young wheels it out to Waters. Waters around the corner, almost got the first down if he didn't. The Cowboys were blitzing on that side.
Yeah, they blitzed on that side, and that made the middle linebacker, Robert Jones, has to take him. You see, here's Waters. He's going to come out to this side. Number 55, Jones has him. Waters has a step already. You see, then he catches the ball, so then that step that he gained when he left the backfield, he kept that on Jones.
First down.
Yeah, watch him here. I don't know if he's using that ball to balance or to fake or what, but you shouldn't be putting it out that way because it usually gets knocked out of there when you do that.
Waters again, right side, behind Floyd. Picked up 2 or 3. But the clock continues to tick away. 3. Now they've stopped it. Timeout, Dallas. 3:39 left.
Dallas is starting to feel that urgency now.
Most places don't serve hamburgers hot off the grill. They reheat them. Not Wendy's. We make...
Kenny Stabler, of course, my quarterback for years for the Oakland Raiders. And I had Bubba Smith for a few years. And Never thought I'd see him in a pink jersey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at that. How did Ugly sneak up on that screen?
Second down. Young changing the plays at the line. Gives to Waters, who makes nothing. Charles Haley and Chad Hennings at the bottom of the pile. Timeout. Cowboys.
I think a big part of this game was the 49ers' ability to run. I mean, they've run for 146 yards, 5.2, and then conversely, stopping Dallas's running. The Cowboys only have 85 yards rushing today.
14-7. Dick Park, where the 49ers lead Emmitt Smith's Cowboys 14-7. 49er ball. Dallas down to one timeout. 3rd and 10. I don't know who jumped first. Larry Brown says it was San Francisco. The 49ers don't agree.
See that official with glasses?
49ers are right. Yes.
That's Aaron Pointer. He's a brother of the Pointer sisters.
Offside on the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Yep, it was Leon Lett and Chad Hennings were the two inside guys of the Cowboys. Yeah, that's Aaron Pointer there. He's from Oakland, just right across the bay.
3rd and 5. Not far to go home tonight. Here's Steve Young hit again just as he let it go, but John Taylor makes the catch. Taylor out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. I think Steve Young is okay.
Yeah, I think Steve Young is just happy. You know, there's those kind where you're lying on the turf and you're hurt, and there's those kind where you're lying on the turf when you're happy. That was lying on the turf when you're happy. He sees John Taylor there. He doesn't know if he has a completion. Now he knows it, and then he just goes to the flop.
It's a good flop.
That is. It's a good feeling, too.
Yes, sir. You know it is for him.
Yeah, they've been saying, you know, the Cowboys had won the last 3, and that they can't beat the Cowboys, and that Steve Young can't win a big one and all those types of things, and he's erasing some of those things.
Yeah, Steve Young running right again. Tripped up by Darren Woodson. That's about the 4th time he's done that.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't know with that situation if I would have called. I don't think they need to bootleg then and Steve Young running like a reckless, abandoned halfback and getting hit right on the thigh. He took a shot there.
He's limping.
Yeah, he took a shot right in that left thigh.
6 carries, 64 yards. Pretty good day.
In fact, he's saying hurry up. That means hurry up. He can't hear. Give me some plays. He's going to have to take a timeout. They didn't get the play in.
Didn't want to do that.
See, they have that coach to quarterback thing in his helmet. And there was nothing coming in there. Maybe nothing was coming in there because of this play. I mean, he's running recklessly. Like I said, he's running like a halfback here. And watch, he takes that hit, that helmet right on the left thigh. He's going to have something there. I mean, that thing's going to stiff him up on him tonight. No wonder.
It'll be a happy limp, though.
Yeah, no wonder that that coach to quarterback helmet thing didn't work.
Got knocked loose. Today's game is being produced by Bob Stinner and directed by Sandy Grossman. Studios produced by Scott Ackerson and directed by Bob Levy. Executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. Today's victory produced by Steve Young.
He's still running okay.
Yeah.
He licked his fingers. That usually means it's a pass.
2nd and 6. Passing yardage.
And the 49ers are still using those throwback jerseys. This is their 7th game. They wore the throwback jerseys, and they're 6-0 in them.
Here he comes again. Jones' first catch of the day. And he gets in for the touchdown.
Steve Young's doing a victory lap. I've never seen him do that. I don't think I've ever seen Steve Young so excited. He was running around. He was running around the end zone. He was getting tackled. I don't think I've ever seen him act like this. But he's had some stuff on his back that he's unloaded part of today.
He really has.
And the 49ers have had some stuff on their back that they've unloaded part of today.
Doug Bryan to attempt the extra point. Steve Young wants to enjoy it all, and well, he should. Bryan. The extra point is good.
Watch this. It's a bootleg here. He's threatening to run, and then he sees Brent Jones. Now watch after the touchdown. This isn't like Steve Young. Look at that. You don't think there's some relief there? Look at him. And he's going to get tackled right here. Well, Ricky Waters. You can say it's, it's professional and they're all overpaid and, all they do is play for money and stuff. But when you see shots like this, that's a bunch of baloney. I mean, the whole thing, the greatest feeling in the world is winning. And that's what we see when we see Steve Young and the 49ers.
And that's why people keep doing it. That great feeling.
That's why people play it, and that's why people coach it.
Some people broadcast it.
And that's why fans become fanatic about it. And as you say, broadcasting, I think, is just a privilege to be here and be here for games like this.
The touchdown again.
Yeah, they got that bootleg out there. Then he had that option where he could run or pass it. Brent Jones was wide open. He took the pass one. Jerry Rice, how about Jerry Rice? When the 49ers were struggling, they needed a big play. It was Steve Young to Jerry Rice that got this whole win started.
That gave them the lead, 14-7. After the extra point was good. Here's Bryan to kick it off. It's Evan Williams. Williams to the 35. Stopped by Anthony Peterson. Jerry Rice. Happy day for him, too, as you mentioned, when they needed him. And they were struggling at that time.
And Jerry Rice is so competitive. I mean, there are guys that'll take the ball in tough situations and tight situations, and guys that want the ball and guys that need the ball. Jerry Rice is a guy that needs the ball in a tight situation when you need a win.
Ricky Jackson signaling for applause from the fans. He's had a big day. Aikman, the pass to Irvin, complete. Made the catch, gets out of bounds at about the 48. Eric Davis on the coverage.
Steve Young could only let himself celebrate so long, though, can't he? Now he had to kind of pull that helmet back down over there and kind of get those brains back working again. There's the guy who's going to take it tough right there, is Charles Haley.
Oh, yeah. First and 10, Dallas at their own 47, and Aikman back to throw it again. Going deep, there's no one there. In the direction of Alvin Harper. But Sanders and Toy Cook and Dana Hall all back on the coverage.
You talk about the good players and the great competitors. There's one there. And that's what makes Charles Haley the player he is. I don't know that I've ever met a stronger competitor. I mean, George Bland, when I had him, was a strong competitor. Charles Haley, I mean, it's just all about winning. That's all it is. It's not about anything else except winning. And when you don't, I mean, you get happy when you win, but boy, it knocks the heck out of you when you lose.
An empty feeling. Aikman, Irvin. That's another first down. And we will get the 2-minute warning at that point. San Francisco 21-7 over Dallas. 2 minutes left at Candlestick Park. Fourth quarter at Candlestick. The 49ers 21-7 over the Cowboys. First down, Dallas at the San Francisco 37-yard line. Aikman to throw it. We'll have time. Pass complete to Kevin Williams. For those of you expecting to see encounters, it'll be seen following football, except on the West Coast, where it'll be seen at its regular time. First down, Cowboys at the 11. Aikman retreats. And retreats to the ground as the pocket collapses around him.
Part of that is the pocket collapsing around him. The other part is good coverage. The pocket, again, is going to be the push from the inside. Dennis Brown coming on a stunt. Dana Stubblefield there slapping at the ball, but there was no one for Aikman to throw to either.
And the Cowboys take a timeout. The standings in the NFC East, assuming this one's over and the Cowboys lose. Philadelphia also lost today. So the Cowboys lead remains the same. They'll be 8-2. Philadelphia 7-3 in the West. San Francisco betters their record, makes it 8-2. Atlanta 5-5. The Rams and New Orleans. Saints winning today by a point, beating Atlanta, improved to 4-6, and the Rams are 4-5, still playing.
And you know what this can be big for, Pat, is although the 49ers and the Cowboys now will have identical records of 8-2. The 49ers, by winning this game, if there is a tie, they have all tiebreakers against the Cowboys, including home field advantage.
Right. Second down and 16 from about the 18. And Aikman back to throw. Dumps the screen pass out to Emmitt Smith. And Emmitt steps out of bounds at about the 3. Nudged by Eric Davis.
I think this 49er defense really did what they had to for the most part today. And the big part of it was, if they were going to beat the Cowboys, they had to control Emmitt Smith. Because they haven't been able to do that in the last 3 games, they did that today.
They have done that today.
And then I think that their coverage, their secondary coverage, Merton Hanks, I think you know, Plummer played well, Jackson played well, Norton played well on defense, and all those guys really helped this effort.
Don't forget Deion Sanders and his contribution. First and goal with the 2. Emmitt Smith, I don't know, touchdown. Emmitt gets in with 1 minute and 20 seconds left.
So now we're going to see a touchdown here and an onside kick. So now I think here, you know, they can go for the extra point. I think in this situation where you're 7 down, you go to get to 7 down. Here comes Emmitt Smith. He just takes off and dives in. So they want to get that first touchdown, kick the extra point, be down by 7, go for an onside kick. Then you can either decide to go for the win or the tie if you score again.
O'Neill's extra point is good. 1 minute and 20 seconds left. The Cowboys out of timeouts.
You know, now this is a big play because the 49ers are not good at this. I mean, the 49ers do a lot of things well, and I know they didn't want to get in this position. Remember last week they lost an onside kick to the Washington Redskins? In fact, I don't think that the 49ers have gotten an onside kick this year.
It seems to me like I remember they're 0-2.
Yeah, so I'll guarantee you, we were yesterday. We were at practice, and they were spending some time practicing against this thing. They put their hands team in. Now, of course, the ball is going to be kicked off from the 30. See, here's a ball is going to be kicked off from right here from the 30. Now, this is what they call the restraining line. This is 10 yards away. Now, they can't cover that line. They can't go over that line. Now, once a ball's kicked, this team can't recover it until it goes beyond this line. The receiving team can cross after it's kicked, they can recover it in there. But if they recover or touch it and fumble, then they can jump on it. So here's a 10-yard restraining line and the kicking line. And
Short hop by McCaffrey. Got in front of it, blocked it, and came down with it. Number 81, McCaffrey.
watch McCaffrey now again. After the ball's kicked, he can cross that line. So it was just a perfect bounce to him. He just took it and went down. There's nothing there. See, but they can't go inside that line until the ball's kicked. Once it's kicked, then the receiving team can go inside. McCaffrey just took a step inside and made a good recovery.
And the Cowboys, don't forget, are out of timeouts. A minute 17 seconds left. All Young has to do is just do what he just did. (21-14). The 49ers over the Cowboys as we're down to a minute.
You know, and I think that everyone knew that these two teams are the best. And they thought that the Cowboys were the best. The 49ers were second best. But the 49ers felt that they were the best, but they knew until they did it on the field. Like they're doing it here today, all that was is talk. Well, the talk is over.
And the clock is ticking. And the game is going to be over. They don't need to do that again. Barry Switzer waved to George Seifert. Ken Norton stopped to say hello to Brock Marion. Merton Hanks, who had a tremendous game. 2 interceptions, both right down by the goal line. It stopped Cowboy drive. James Washington, tribute to Merton Hanks.